fully knew what the conditions were that the animals were rescued from. We knew that they had come from the Saskatchewan Animal Protection Services. They came in after hours. It was late one night. We had a group of our staff that stayed behind, and it was heartbreaking. We were excited to see that we were able to be lifting them out of these conditions, but one can only imagine where they were living. They were filthy. They were unkept, they hadn't been groomed in some time. You could tell that they were maybe messing on themselves during the day. Just health conditions, their teeth were horrible, they were scared. So it was really upsetting. We did find out also from that group that unfortunately some of them had to be euthanized on the spot. So you can tell that the conditions were that dire that that was necessary in order to stop some suffering. So we knew that we had a lot of work ahead of us, and we just hoped that we'd be able to make a difference for the ones that were in our care. This case, the Race to a New Life, was such a great opportunity for people to help. We got in over 50 applications for the dogs, and so obviously everybody couldn't get a dog, but it was really nice to see people cheering on these dogs and placing the donations where they needed to go. Special challenges for the Dachshunds. A lot of them were they wanted to be social. They didn't know how to be social, all of them, but they wanted to be. But Coleslaw was the shyest of all of them, and we were really concerned that people wouldn't gravitate to her as much. She hid at the back of her kennel when people came up. And usually people really like to have that attachment, and it's hard to have that when you see her disengage. So we're really concerned about her specifically, and so it was wonderful when you came along and we knew someone special would come for her. So yeah, it's good.
I think the reason I picked Chop Chop Coleslaw, which I renamed Kallie, which is short for Kahlua, because for some reason all my dogs are named after booze. But there was just something about her standing at the back of her kennel. She just looked so forlorn and just so alone and just crying out for love. I don't know, I know dogs can't speak, but this is what her eyes told me. And since my house is already equipped, I already have 2 miniature dachshunds, black and tan, just like Kallie. I've got the stairs going up to the couch so they don't have to jump up and down. I've got the ramp built out the back steps so they don't have to run up steps every day. I just thought this would be the perfect home for her because she just was crying out for love. She was shy and timid right from the get-go and easily startled. There were so many times that I would be sitting at the table, and if I stood up, she would run, she would startle, and she would skitter away just from me standing up or even moving my foot slightly. It was just heartbreaking because she was so shy. And when we went up, I took her outside to try and potty train her outside because, well, she wasn't housebroken when I brought her home. What shocked me was the wind rustling in the trees would scare her. And a bird flying overhead would scare her. She would cower and she would run. And I'm thinking to myself, this poor little girl's never even been outside. My other dogs are kennel trained. They sleep in their kennels. Sometimes when I can't find them, that's where they're laying, is in their kennels. But putting her in her kennel, she was so scared to come out. The first couple of weeks, it was like, one day it was like 20 minutes before I saw her poke her head around the corner in the kitchen where me and the other dogs were. I just thought, nah, she'll come out on her own time. Some days it took a lot longer than others, but now you open up her door and it's like she's fired out like a rocket. Going from how shy and timid she was, now in the mornings when I put them outside and before I feed them their breakfast, Kallie turns my house into like her own personal Daytona 500. I mean, I don't know if she's trying to set the land speed record, the indoor land speed record for a dachshund, but she just roars around the entire house, lap after lap after lap, wagging her tail. She's so happy now. And that was the thing that also broke my heart. It took just about 2 weeks before I saw even the slightest little flicker of a tail wag. And now she's just the happiest little girl.
How can you help against things like this? It comes down to really small things, or it seems small, but it's really important. So coming and making sure that you're adopting an animal rather than purchasing an animal. A lot of the time you need to ask these questions. You need to find out where the animals came from, and you need to make sure that you're not somehow supporting somebody who is maybe not doing something for the better good of an animal. So when you're buying an animal, you're actually supporting that person and allowing them to continue breeding those animals who are not always kept in great conditions, and there's so many animals out here who already need homes. So small things like that. Also making sure that you're writing letters to your MLA, to your MP, and cheering on those people who are really doing that good work, and being a part of your community, being a part of your SPCA and your Humane Society.
It breaks my heart to think of the conditions that those dachshunds came out of, but now she's got a new life. Same with the other 11 dachshunds that were rescued out of those horrible conditions. No, she's got her older brother and sister, and she's a part of the pack now. And now I think she has a chance to have a really good life, the life that she should have had right from a puppy.
It's so hard when you see animals that weren't given that chance to be the animals that they were supposed to. Oh, I didn't think I'd cry. And we were able to do that for them with everybody's help. So, really special.